Mutual authentication, also commonly referred to as two-way SSL, is a security method that Visa uses to securely encrypt and authenticate the API requests on Visa Developer. In two-way SSL authentication, the client and server need to authenticate and validate each other's identities. The authentication message exchange between client and server is called an SSL handshake. During the two-way SSL handshake, client initiates a client hello request to the server specifying the highest TLS protocol version that it supports, a random number, list of supported ciphers, compression method, and a session ID. Server then responds with a server hello message to client containing the chosen TLS protocol version, a random number, supported cipher suite, and compression method from the choices offered by client. In the first part of the two-way SSL handshake process, server sends its server certificate to the client to validate. Alongside, server requests client to send its client certificate for server to validate. Client checks and validates the server certificate. During validation, certificate chain, expiration date, and certificate revocation status is checked. If successful, client sends its client certificate to the server. Server then checks and validates the client certificate. This is the second part of the two-way SSL process. This establishes the secure connection and completes the mutual SSL handshake successfully. Once a successful handshake is completed, the client and server will use the symmetric key for encrypting/decrypting data. To establish a two-way SSL connection, you must have the private key, client certificate, client authority root certificate, and certificate authority intermediate certificate. In order to obtain a valid client certificate from Visa Developer, you must submit a certificate signing request file when creating a new project or when submitting production go-live request. The CSR file contains client organization details as well as the public key from the client. There are multiple tools that you can use to create a CSR file and private key, such as Java Key Tool or OpenSSL. Once you complete the CSR submission process, Visa Developer will create your client certificate and provide you with links to download the certificates. Once you obtain the certificates, you can begin to create the key store such as JKS or P12 and start testing the mutual SSL connectivity. You can find documentation on mutual authentication on Visa Developer Center at developer.visa.com, including how to configure a two-way SSL key store, sample code for two-way SSL, and testing connectivity using Postman, SoapUI, and Visa Developer Center Playground.